First off, for so many different reasons. I think Spiny Oyster, just in general, the story behind it is exciting. I love the connection that Jay has, because it goes back to your childhood with the Spiny Oyster. It's not something you see very often, and if you're a color person, love color in jewelry, I promise you, I hope it's televising as beautiful as it is in person, but it's not just the Spiny Oyster. Also, you know, have the beauty here of the turquoise, and this is brand new today. So you have, I want to say it's Andean Blue turquoise.
Andean Blue, so it's the Chilean material.
Which
it's
is
that really
amazing.
super electric high blue.
It is, and it works back beautifully with all the different colors of the Spiny Oyster. Okay, so here is the scoop on this. It will be $136, great value, amazing value. That will be the HSN price, HSN deal price. It's $119.98 only because we're revealing it brand new this afternoon for the very first time. If this speaks to you at all and you're a new shopper and you see the 3 monthly flex payments at the very bottom of the screen, take advantage of that if you'd like to do so. It's any major credit card or debit card or Apple Pay or however you may be set up. You don't have to pay it all off at once. You can pay it off over the next 3 months. So whenever your next billing statement would be, it would be the $40 or shipping, but we're still sending this right out to you. And you always have a 30-day money-back guarantee, but trust me on this. If you love wearing these softer colors, you love your denims, you love, and I love what you said earlier, it's a true, like, classic necklace that you could really dress to the nines. I could be going to a summer wedding and wearing, you know, light color and want to pop a color in my jewelry. This would be the piece. Or I'm a more casual girl. I'm wearing really a Juliana t-shirt right now, pair of jeans, and it works back beautifully.
Yeah, you know what I love about this design, and this, okay, the materials and I go way back, way back. I'm talking 47 years, guys. And then what I love about this, though, this is one of those looks that's always just in fashion. You know, like so many people, especially we live in Florida, but you know, like if you live in any of the kind of the rural areas, I guess to say, or if you live along the beach or anything, God, you see people wearing right now, like they're wearing either turquoise or they're wearing shells. And this is kind of a unique individual way to really have something unusual that really pops. And you know, like with Spiny, just so if you've heard this story, I apologize, but you know, where Spiny and I started, you think about this, when I was in college, so when I was in college over 47 years ago, we used to go down, we had this Volkswagen van, and we used to go down to Guaymas, and we used to go down to San Carlos, and we would camp on the beach. And we would take all of our scuba gear and we would dive. We would go out and dive with the seals. That was the big thing. Wow. Is they had a bunch of seals, and you could go out and you could play with them. And then what we would do is we would, you know, have our spear guns. So we would actually, the only thing that we took was beer and matches. That's the only thing that we really was our camping equipment. Is we had a cooler of beer, and then we had matches so that we could put driftwood together and start a fire. And so realistically, I mean, like to cook and everything, if we didn't get something that day, we just had beer, you know, as long as the beer lasted. So so there's something to be said for a beer diet, though. So, but one of the things that we came across, and it was really weird, is there would be stacks and stacks of these spiny oyster shells, you know, with the spines on them on the beach. And what it was is the locals at that time, they still, at that time it was a big food source for them. It's a delicious oyster.
Is it?
I mean, yeah, when you open it up, I mean, it's spiny oyster, but it is an oyster. The spines are obviously to protect it, right? But the locals, what they would do is they would break them open. They would take the meat, but they had no use for the shells, right? So they would take the meat, they would throw them on ice and take them into town and sell them, and they would leave the shells on the beach, and they would just be huge piles of them. Well, you know, we got to, you know, looking at it, and at that time, you know, we're all, just so you know, I mean, like, at that time, my hair was much longer, like much longer, okay? I wore it in a ponytail, and it was jet black, right? Jet black. So we know that that's been a long time ago, right? So what we would do is we were all at that time, we were making like puka shell necklaces. We were making turquoise necklaces. And we were doing that in college. And then we would sell them to everybody. I mean, that's how I actually kind of got started in the whole business. So every time I see this material, I think about it. But we would come back, if you could imagine, there would be 4 of us, okay? All of us with really long hair in a Volkswagen bus in Mexico, okay, in Mexico. And when we came back, we'd have all of our dive gear, but we would have this van literally packed with huge bags. You know, they would have these gunny sack bags also that you can, you know, just pick up. And we would just have stacks and stacks of these shells. If you tried to do that in today's world, Fish and Wildlife, oh my gosh. I mean, impossible. Not only the fine, oh no, you go to jail. I mean, you know, but back then nobody knew anything about it. So what happened though is after a while, we would go down and we would go diving, and then we were bringing these things back. We were making them into jewelry, and so when after a while we started going back, all of a sudden there's no piles anymore, and we're going. We were not only going diving, but we were looking forward to getting more material, right? And so anyway, we find out that now some gringo, right, has realized that this can be in jewelry. So they're starting to see it in jewelry, which, that we're doing. And so they started buying it up. And then that's when it became a trade. Now, here's what's interesting. I've only seen spiny oyster in the Sea of Cortez. They only have about 12 families that I'm aware of that are still grandfathered in that are allowed to harvest it. So it's protected. You're not just allowed to go dive for it. You're not, there's a season. There's 2 seasons a year. There's 12 families, I think, that are still allowed to still dive for it. And so it is protected, and you can't just go down and harvest anymore. So that being said, for us, we have really good spiny oyster connections. It's not as easy to get the material, especially the nice material, as it used to be. It's also more and more expensive, and that's why we were so excited about being able to do this whole series in spiny. We kind of been saving up for this, and we wanted to do something and really kind of honor this amazing material. And
I always love the story. It's one of my favorite stories because it takes us. I had the whole vision of the Volkswagen J. King and his hair and the ponytail.
Okay, and think about this at that
cooler
time.
of beer.
Right. Okay, but here we are, and there were 4 of us. Right. We all had. I had the longest hair.
Now, did they all become rock hounds as well?
Well, no, but they all made jewelry.
Okay.
We weren't really hippies. We were more like cosmic cowboys. Okay. So we were all from New Mexico. All of us came from very, very rural backgrounds, and so we had a lot in common. We loved to dive, and I think about this every time I see these kinds of designs that we do. It brings back so many memories. But I will tell you also, I had a few interesting memories because when you have really long hair and you're driving a Volkswagen bus in Mexico, especially coming back,
sure.
I could tell you some really funny stories. Especially at the crossings. It got real interesting. But like a few times it was really interesting. They didn't find anything in the van, and so it would just frustrate them. So then they would start counting the money in our wallets and stuff like that. So, I can tell you stories. Like it all now.
But you can do that today.
No, you couldn't. But, like now that I think about it, it's all funny. But at the time, it really sometimes, and that's the story of my life. A lot of places I go and get a lot of these materials like Lynn was talking about before. It's really fun because when you're there, interesting things do happen at times. At the time, it's not so funny. But then after you get back and everything, and then you can think about it, you think, gosh, that was really funny.
Then you can reminisce back on that. And that's why I love, because in the years that you've been here, going 29 years now, this has always been Spiny Oysters, like a favorite, and a favorite story because of what has happened. It's like, we used to talk about gems, same thing with the shells here. Like you just said, nobody could just go on a beach today and pick up the shells and spiny oysters. It's protected. It's the reality, but it's those connections that you have had that brings this to the forefront that you don't see just anywhere. You don't walk into the jewelry stores, very few places, and see anything like this. And we're just talking Spiny Oyster. We didn't even touch on the fact that there's turquoise in here as well.
Right. And this is the Chilean blue.
And it's just over $100. I'm telling you, you will live in this necklace. It's so funny because as soon as I saw it, I had like 4 different color choices to wear today. And I'm like, it could have been any one of them. I had a really pretty green, I had a beautiful blue, I had a soft cream, I had this peach. I'm like, that would go with, this goes with everything.
Yep.
I mean, even like, look, your blue.
Right.
Right? I mean, I put that against that. Look how the blue pops, and then you get the corals, and then the you know, the red or orange is beautiful.
Even as a guy, you know,
yeah,
I wouldn't mind wearing something like this. Just fun.
That could go.
It's casual. It's fun. It's something if you're wearing blue jeans
me.
and stuff.
Like this is
right.
Lynn Murphy. Like I love my J. King pieces, and believe me, I have some beautiful gallery pieces and highly collectible pieces. Thank goodness through the years, listening to you, I've done that. But as an everyday, like, and would you agree? Because like, this is that one necklace I would pull on just with a t-shirt. I love Angie has a little bit more dressed up. She's going on vacation. But think about a vacation. Like she would go out to dinner. She could have this on the next day with her bathing suit and go to the beach.
Well,
you know?
That's what I'm saying. It's casual enough. And just so everybody knows, the only time I ever wear a jacket is when I'm here with Lynn or on air. The rest of the time, I'm very casual. And I got to tell you, this is perfect for that. It's something you can wear every day. It's fun. It's got a lot of, it's just bright. It's got a lot of color. And you don't see a lot of it. That's what's really amazing. You know, like if you go to the Southwest and from the area that I grew up and I'm from, you'll see it in, you know, designs, especially a lot of the Native Americans have started and putting, mine aren't Native American designs, but I have Native American friends that are artists, and they use it in their designs too.
That's right.
So, but it's something, you're not gonna go anywhere else in the world really and see it. It's really funny because it does seem like the only place you do really see it is in the Southwest.
It's so true. And then here's the other thing, the HSN price will go up on this. The only reason we have a few special event prices for the visit, this happens to be one of those. So with FlexPay, under $40, you'll see. Get it home or as a gift for someone who loves color, loves jewelry, loves unique pieces, loves versatility in their necklaces. They will love you for this. I promise you that. It's 18 inches in length. I was showing the sterling silver. And keep in mind too, everything is handcrafted.
Yeah.
Every little
it's
nook
18,
and
but then you still get 2 3/4 extra, guys. So you get the extender, so that allows you to extend it another, so 18 plus 2 3/4, so 20 3/4, or the way that we've designed our extender chain for people who aren't familiar, you can take this and you get about 1/4 inch increments that you can adjust it. So it makes it to where you can kind of customize it for whatever you're trying to accessorize with.
Oh, you're gonna love this. I can't wait till you get it at home. Brand new today, 833-953 is the item number. Okay, couple of other things I wanna mention from Jay's collection. This is, again, those gallery pieces, one of a kind. Look at the